Hey everybody, welcome back to Ballpark Nation. This is Jim Christopher, and in this episode, we're going to do something very special. With the power of video editing, imagination, and time travel, we're going to take you from the minor leagues all the way up to the show. And we're going to begin in Greensboro with the High A Greensboro Grasshoppers, and away we go.
The Ballpark, a place where legends are born, where pitchers throw heat and hitters drop bombs. The home of mud hens, sod poodles, chihuahuas, flying bison, and sea wolves. This is Ballpark Nation, your home for baseball from sea to shining sea. And now your hosts. He couldn't crack the starting lineup of his JV high school baseball team, and she's never met a ballpark wiener she didn't like. Here are Jim Christopher and Alyssia Rivera.
And we're back, everybody. Episode 3, Ballpark Nation. Jim Christopher.
Alyssia Rivera.
And Lish. We're not going to go coast to coast this time, but we're going to go from the East Coast, Greensboro, North Carolina, all the way to the Colorado Rockies. I got to ask, have you been to Colorado?
I have. I've been to Breckenridge, Colorado, and I tried to do a hike there, and I couldn't breathe.
Not a lot of air up there, is there?
Oh.
No, there's not. But there's some really good baseball and a beautiful ballpark. We've got 2 great ballparks. And what I love about this episode is we're going to see a beautiful ballpark from the single A level and the major league level to show you that Ballpark Nation, it's just pretty. Kind of like what's on this camera right now.
Ballpark Nation presents Chasing Grand Slams, our favorite ballparks from across the country and around the world.
In the heart of North Carolina's Piedmont region, baseball thrives with a southern twist. Since 2005, First National Bank Field has been home to your Greensboro Grasshoppers, a team whose playful name and community spirit have made them one of the gems of the South Atlantic League. The ballpark opened in 2005 as part of a vision to bring baseball back to the center of Greensboro. The move from War Memorial Stadium, where baseball had been played since the 1930s, was more than just a change of address. It was a new era, one that helped revitalize downtown and bring fans closer to the action. Architecturally, First National Bank Field combines old-school charm with modern convenience. Open concourses and a wraparound design ensure fans never lose sight of the field. With seating for about 7,500, it's intimate, comfortable, and tailor-made for any minor league fan. Now, the Grasshoppers' name might be relatively young, but organized baseball in Greensboro runs deep. The city has hosted professional teams since the early 1900s, the Patriots, the Hornets, the Bats, each leaving their mark on the community. The Grasshoppers, now a High A affiliate of your Pittsburgh Pirates, carry on that tradition with a fresh identity, complete with one of the quirkiest names and logos in all of sports. Inside, the seating options fit every kind of fan. The lower bowl stretches close to the action, suites and club seats bring comfort and amenities. You've got grassy berms that let families spread out picnic style, and party decks that keep the social scene lively. Wherever you land, the game feels close and personal and a heck of a lot of fun. And if you don't feel like sitting, well, that's just fine, because the ballpark was built with plenty of places to stand, lean, and just kind of hang out, post up with a beer, swap some stories, and watch the game unfold. The grandstand bar down the third base line has become a fan favorite, a spot where baseball meets neighborhood hangout. Now, on game day, Greensboro shows up. Families, students, and longtime locals pack the stands. Theme nights keep things fresh, from Star Wars and superhero nights to the widely popular Thirsty Thursdays. Fireworks light up the Carolina sky, kids run the bases after games, and the whole night feels more like a festival than just a baseball game. And the food comes with a distinct Carolina flavor. Pulled pork sandwiches and barbecue nachos are big hits, alongside the classic ballpark hot dog. Local breweries keep the taps flowing, and sweet treats from ice cream to funnel cakes round out the menu. It's comfort food served with a little bit of Southern hospitality. The Grasshoppers' bold green and orange branding make for some of the most eye-catching merch in all of the minors. From classic caps to mascot gear, the team store is packed with souvenirs that stand out, whether you're in Greensboro or halfway across the country. It's one of the most recognizable brands in all of minor league baseball, made even better by the most recent brand refresh, which went from a more realistic looking grasshopper to something that feels even more right at home in minor league baseball. First National Bank Field is more than just a stadium. It's Greensboro's living room, a place where history meets fun, where community gathers under the lights, and where baseball feels alive in the Carolina night. And for ballpark hunters like myself, the Grasshoppers are a stop you'll never forget. And much like a good grasshopper, it's a hidden gem lying in wait, waiting to jump out at you and grab you by your baseball-loving heart.
Well, what are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who is on first?
Have you got a first baseman on first?
Certainly.
Then who's playing first?
Absolutely.
Ballpark Nation presents Who's on First? We talk to the people behind the greatest game ever invented.
And to continue our coverage with the Greensboro Grasshoppers, Jim got to sit down with the general manager.
We're excited to be out at First National Bank Field with the Greensboro Grasshoppers. And if we're going to talk Greensboro Grasshoppers, we got to talk to Tim, the general manager of the squad. First of all, we're recording this on opening day. It's not coming out too much later, but opening day, how you feeling?
You know, opening day is it's the biggest day of the year for us. We work 8 months and it's so much time and effort goes into it for everything to, culminate on opening day. So we feel good. It's a beautiful day today. I think one of the better weather days that we've ever had that I've been here. I've been with the team for 23 years, and I think this is the best opening day weather. We're really excited about tonight. Fireworks are going to shoot off tonight, and we're in the 5,500 plus on ticket sales so far.
Wow. Okay. 23 years. What's making this the best one? Because I'm guessing I shoot out of Austin, Texas, so I'm guessing rain oftentimes at this time of year for you guys.
Yeah, we will. Greensboro is actually one of the few places in the entire world that has 4 full seasons. A 4-month seasonality. So, we get it now, we're getting the pollen, but at the same time, we can get some rain occasionally. But right this weekend, it's beautiful.
You got me wanting to move here. I miss seasons. We're, like I said, out of Texas, not too much. You said 23 seasons here. First of all, I know minor league baseball can be one of those things where people meander and travel and move on. What got you here? And most importantly, what kept you here?
So let's see. I came to college at North Carolina A&T State University.
Okay.
I played baseball there, and then I also wanted to go to an engineering school. So I have a chemical engineering degree. So I went to A&T. I could play D1 baseball, and I can get a 4-year engineering degree. So at the time, we were the Greensboro Bats, and the Greensboro Bats play at War Memorial Stadium, where they did. We played there all the way up until 2004. That's also where A&T played all of their home games.
Okay.
So through the course of, a handful of years, I got to know the groundskeeper. I was in town over the summer, and I needed a job, so I started mowing the grass. Then literally, I graduated, and the day after I graduated, our president, general manager at the time, Donald Moore, Donald said, "Hey, I want you to come see me." I said, "Okay, sure." I was anticipating hey, thanks a lot, best of luck with future endeavors. Appreciate the help.
Right.
I said, "Well, what do you think about coming to work with us?" I was like, "Well, I don't really know." But we were just announced that we're going to build a new ballpark. And he's like, "Hey, I'd really like you to come on board with us." And it was a unique opportunity that I got to be in pretty much every single contractor meeting for the construction of this stadium.
Wow.
Shovel went into the ground. And it's very beneficial now, 20-something years later, as we have, facility improvements that need to happen. I could help out the contractors quite a bit and say, okay, this pipe's running here, this plumbing goes wherever it does, and it's proven helpful. And it's the rest is kind of history. So I was hired as director of stadium operations at the old ballpark, and we moved over here in 2005.
The thing that keep coming back to this ballpark's 20 years old.
20.
It's 25.
Yeah.
It does not show 20 years of wear.
So this is one of the most important things. Well, a few things. What we're going to pride ourselves and strive for. We're going to have fantastic customer service. We're going to have very reasonable pricing, and the other one is cleanliness. And I think maybe it's more me having the stadium operations background, but everybody wants a clean ballpark, but it's also, it helps maintain the facility. But we're constantly doing a lot of work here. Kind of fun fact, this stadium is one of a couple 100% privately funded stadiums.
Okay, wow.
And then on top of that, and somebody may correct me if I might be wrong, but as far as my knowledge, I believe that we are the only private for-profit minor league baseball team in the country.
Really?
Now, the others operate as a 501c3. I don't know how you want to get into some aspects of everything, but not one penny of public money ever went into the stadium. Now, it's a great thing because there's no bureaucracy or any red tape, but it's it's difficult because we have 100% of the maintenance, and it's all on our cost. But so that makes us even be more mindful. We're constantly every year going through rounds of waterproofing to replace any cracked concrete, constantly pressure washing. Right now, even though we're sitting in pollen, we've literally pressure washed this stadium top to bottom 3 times since Saturday.
Wow. Okay.
It's right now, Greensboro is the 10th worst for pollen right now, but we have beautiful flowers here. We have a lot of pollen going on.
Right.
But it really is. It was done well. When we had so much input in what we wanted to see out of this stadium, and if you're not the end user, that sounds neat, or a lot of times some new technology might be great, but what's the functionality? We built this ballpark to be a classic. It has some of the newer amenities, but it has a classic feel.
Yeah.
And without anything crazy as far as maintenance. And we're just mindful of that when we built it, and it allows us ways to stay on top of it. And stadiums, they're great, but if you don't take care of them and they go to every 30 years you can't get a new stadium.
As much as
some people would tell you,
as much big owners want to tell us that, right?
Yeah. No. So and that's something that I really pride us in, and we're going to make sure this is the best it possibly can be.
The famous thing about minor league baseball is you're not competing with, Asheville's down the road. You're not competing with Durham down the road. You're competing with everything else going on in Greensboro.
Yeah.
So what do you do to make sure that you guys stand out? You said you've already sold most of the stadium out for tonight on a Friday night, and it's still the school week, our school year, excuse me. What are y'all doing to make that happen?
Well, I think it comes down to our customer service. It comes down to how clean this ballpark is. I mean, I feel that we check all the boxes to what's going to be a great night out. And, to your point, you mentioned, not the competition, 2 hours away. That's not it. It is a lot of the other local, we're entertainment. Baseball's going on, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the game of baseball, and it's a lot of fun, but we're an entertainment venue. So we're competing for the entertainment dollar. And that could be the D-League basketball. It could be a concert at the Coliseum.
I saw a really cool movie theater just up the road with all the murals. I mean,
absolutely. But you name it. And then, right across the street, there's a little brewery. Well, all those things didn't really exist when we were, when we first started. So it's been challenging. But I think it comes down to, again, the fan experience. And we want the absolute best that we can provide. And also is affordability. We're mindful of our pricing. Things still get more expensive, but we try to fight that as much as we can. And that's also, I think, that's something that keeps us nimble, and the ability to do so is we brought everything in-house. Our food and beverage is in-house. Our security is in-house. All of our maintenance is in-house. We have some vendors that we'll use. Obviously, we're not replacing a huge air conditioning unit, but we do a lot of this ourselves, and that allows us to keep the cost down. And so that's the focus.
What I love about minor league baseball, something I learned throughout my journey, is that you also have a sort of stewardship of the community. You're there when the community needs you outside of the ballpark. What are some of the ways that the Grasshoppers are out there helping with, be it schools, be it charities, be it raising awareness through theme nights?
Absolutely. This one kind of hits near and dear to my heart. And it, again, is a big reason why I continue to do this job. Even though we are private, we want to be as involved in the community as possible, and obviously our fans are the ones that support us, and so we want to return the favor. So there's a long list, but I'll go through them all. I say that, I joke. We have a charity program. It's called Greensboro Grasshoppers Charities. We have Guilford's Kids program, where we're underprivileged kids. We have about 50 season tickets that either have been funded by local partners. So we reach out to community or to programs that, essentially wouldn't have the opportunity to come out to a game. So there's 50 tickets available to any, kind of nonprofit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Every game. So we do 2 school days every year with Guilford County Schools. We bring every 2nd grader and every 6th grader into the park, and it's absolutely free.
Really? All right.
we are hosting, and we have for the last 4 years, Grimsley High School JV varsity baseball, all practices and games. Unfortunately,
Played here.
they play here because there's a new school being built, and that new school, because of spacing and facility needs, is being built on top of the softball and baseball field.
Oh, wow.
So, friends with the athletic director, and he's like, hey, is there any way we can figure this out? Actually, he approached Donald with this 4 or 5 years ago, and while there probably been maybe a little bit different planning, it's not fair to the kids. So we decided, we'll open up the ballpark and we'll give them the place to play.
And what a thrill for them, by the way, to be able to play in a professional park.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, who wouldn't, right?
One of the things, there's a zillion minor league baseball teams out there that we could choose to come to every season, if you count independent. One of the things that grabs me is the branding. And I'll be honest, I run a film festival. A friend of mine's coming tonight, a filmmaker who I love the branding beforehand. Talk about that branding change in a couple of ways. One, you weren't tempted to go overly silly with it, which you see so much in minor league baseball today. And how much, being the affiliate of the Pirates, they seem like they're letting you guys do your thing, which I think is the best kind of relationship between a Major League Baseball parent club and a minor league club.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go back to how we became the Grasshoppers, because there's been minor league baseball in Greensboro for 100 years. And, we've had multiple name changes, but recently we went from the Hornets to the Bats, and now the Bats to the Grasshoppers. Well, you do what everybody does. You put it out in the paper, you take your surveys, and all right, what do you want the theme name to be, so on and so forth. And
there's always like 9 people who are mad for some reason. You're going to be mad no matter what.
Absolutely. Oh, that's horrible. And some people love it. So you never can win. And we actually employed a kind of a brand person to see what would you come up with. But Donald, our president, he had a sneaky idea. So I told you I used to take care of the ballpark. So I drive around and I mow the grass. And, I started to notice as I'm mowing the grass that there's all these damn grasshoppers. They're jumping all over the place. I mean, to the point where I'm driving a tractor mowing and I'm getting pelted by grasshoppers. So I'm like, what is going on? So finally, towards the end of the year, Donald starts just cracking up. I'm like, what are you laughing at? I said, you know how those grasshoppers? I said, yeah. He said, well, I decided about a month or two ago that I wanted us to be called the Grasshoppers. Alliteration with Greensboro, grasshopper, right. The ball hops. So there's all those things. He said, so I started going to a local bait shop, or what a bait shop, but he was buying grasshopper nests and putting them at the ballpark. So nobody could say the grasshoppers aren't around Greensboro. How about that? So we have our original brand, Greensboro Grasshoppers. We rolled that out 2005. Logo goes great. And at the time, here's how we landed with the orange and green in the crew.
Which I love that.
All right, so the orange and green, at the time, we'll get to the brand refresh. So this is 05. At the time, that orange and green were the fad colors of 05, and it was the Miami Hurricanes green and orange PMS colors. And so, that went well, and it was good. And we were bought in 2021. Our old ownership group sold it to our new ownership group, which is Temerity Capital. Andy Sandler, great guy, great group. He has a couple other teams, and he wants to put his spin on it. But we're 20 years old, right? So, a brand refresh. Well, initially we were maybe going to go with a new name, new logo, go that whole route,
right?
But he came to town on first game, and he's like, everybody's wearing grasshopper stuff. I'm like, yeah. Said, okay, so we can't change the name. Let's go with a brand refresh. And we landed in, and I like Kelly Green instead of the Hunter Green, so we've made that switch, and just to update it a little bit. The Block G is kind of tags into Greensboro. Guilford College uses a Block G. There's some Block Gs that have been used, generally speaking, and so that ties in a little bit locally, and really just to freshen it up a little bit. I mean, obviously the end goal is to sell more merchandise,
right? Which you did.
Absolutely.
I sent some stuff to Texas.
Thank you very much.
From the minute on, I had so much stuff already.
Thank you.
Last question, my first time in Greensboro. What do you want me to walk out having experience at this ballpark? When I'm telling everybody and I'm recording the final episode of this show, what do you want me to walk out thinking?
I want you to feel like this is the best minor league experience you've ever had. And it should be. Or it's going to be up there. I mean, I could say that right now, not even knowing where you've been. It will be. But really, just man, I cannot believe how nice this was and how cheap that ticket is.
Ballpark Nation presents Chasing Grand Slams, our favorite ballparks from across the country and around the world.
In Denver, baseball is played a mile above sea level. Coors Field, home of the Colorado Rockies since 1995, is more than just a ballpark. It's a landmark where the air, towering home runs, and the spirit of the Rockies combine to create one of the most unique experiences in Major League Baseball. When the Rockies were born in 1993, they played their first 2 seasons at Mile High Stadium, but Denver needed a true baseball home. Coors Field opened in April of 1995, instantly becoming one of the premier parks of the new ballpark boom. It was a sign that Big League Baseball had found permanent roots in the Mile High City. Seating at Coors Field is as varied as the fans who fill it. It's a social hub where fans can mingle, grab a drink, and still catch every swing of the game. And then there's Dinger, the Rockies mascot. A purple triceratops may seem unusual, but it ties directly to Coors Field's history. During construction in the early 1990s, dinosaur fossils were unearthed on the site, including a triceratops skull. Dinger was born from that discovery, and today he's a fan favorite who keeps kids smiling and crowds energized. The Rockies also play a vital role in the community. Through the Rockies Foundation, the team supports youth baseball fields, education programs, and charitable initiatives across Colorado. From school visits to military appreciation nights, the Rockies are as committed to their city as their city is to them. Coors Field is more than a ballpark. It's a mile-high tradition, a place where baseball meets breathtaking views while history blends with fun and where community comes together in purple and black. For ballpark hunters, Denver is a stop that feels as big and unforgettable as the Rockies themselves.
Ballpark Nation presents 5 Tool Territory, 5 good reasons to love baseball's hometown.
And welcome everybody to 5 Tool Territory, where we're looking at 5 cool facts about Greensboro, North Carolina. Number 1, it sparked the sit-in movement. Greensboro is home to the 1960s Woolworth sit-in, where 4 NC-A&T students peacefully protested segregation at a lunch counter. Their action helped ignite the national civil rights movement. Number 2, speaking of revolutions, it has a Revolutionary War battlefield. The Battle of Guilford Courthouse happened here in 1781. Although technically a British victory, it weakened British forces so badly that it helped lead to the American victory at Yorktown. Number 3, it's the furniture capital. Greensboro is part of the Piedmont Triad, historically known as the furniture capital of the world. The High Point Market nearby is the largest home furnishings trade show on the planet. Number 4, it's an aviation hub. The area is home to a major Honda jet manufacturing facility and has a long aviation history. And number 5, it has a world-class science center. The Greensboro Science Center combines an aquarium, a zoo, and a science museum all in one place, and even features a treetop adventure park. So there you have it, 5 cool things about Greensboro, North Carolina. Make sure you check that out. And if you're in Greensboro, don't forget to visit your Greensboro Grasshoppers.
Ballpark Nation presents Raiders of the Lost Diamond, digging up the lost treasures of baseball's past.
Welcome to Ballpark Nation. I'm your host, Alyssia Rivera. On this week's Raiders of the Lost Diamonds, Jim traces the game's roots, Greensboro, North Carolina.
It says here the key to not whipping myself in the face is to step forward but pivot away when I whip. Working on some of the tools of the trade. Hey everybody, Indiana Jim Christopher here with Raiders of the Lost Diamond, and today we're going to be diving into the baseball history of Greensboro, North Carolina. We've already shown you the Grasshoppers, but now it's time to talk about all of the great baseball that came first. And actually, baseball goes back in Greensboro, North Carolina to well over 100 years. It's one of the things I love so much about this game is that there really is a lot of rich baseball history to explore, and we're going to do our best to at least kind of, brush a little bit of it off for you on this particular episode. In 1902, we saw professional baseball come to Greensboro in the form of the North Carolina League. Now, the city's most enduring early team identity was the Greensboro Patriots. And no, that's not the group that was deflating footballs. These ones played baseball, and it really was the first most enduring identity for baseball in Greensboro, North Carolina. One of the things, though, with early baseball, like 1900s into 1910s, though, and you'll see it across the entire season 2 of Ballpark Nation as we talk about
about this stuff, is that it was known for instability, that leagues started and stopped. Sometimes they would start and stop in the same year. They wouldn't even finish. But Greensboro at least maintained a presence for this game throughout that time, as erratic as it was. Now, in 1926, one of the most iconic minor league ballparks opened, and that was War Memorial Stadium. I know, everybody had a War Memorial Stadium, but if you think about where the country was, we were just coming out of World War I, which really was an eye-opener for the entire country about our role, and we're start deviling into isolationism as a result. But we really wanted to honor all of these young men that we had sent overseas. It was a war that a lot of people asked why we were fighting it, and in fact, we were so afraid of fighting another war that it would lead directly to the Second World War. In 1979, we get the Greensboro Hornets, which effectively modernizes baseball in Greensboro, North Carolina, and becomes a team that many fans in the area are still very much connected with today. And that team would go on to win several Carolina League championships. Now, the Greensboro Hornets played from 1979 to 1993, and then in 1994, they became the Greensboro Bats until 2003. Now, by this time, War Memorial Stadium had become a really old ballpark, one of the oldest, in fact, still functioning in baseball, and it was time for a new place for Greensboro baseball to be played. Thus, we get First National Bank Field and a rebrand from the Greensboro Bats to the Greensboro Grasshoppers, which brings us up to today. See, we got through the history of Greensboro baseball and I didn't even have to whip myself in the face. Now, a lot of times people don't like things that are new or different. They think it's scary and weird. But since the Greensboro Nine moved downtown, they have been one of the best attended baseball teams in all of minor league baseball.
And that wraps up episode 3 of Ballpark Nation. I'm Alyssia DeVetta.
I'm Jim Christopher.
And we'll see you at the ballpark.
For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the